Hello and welcome to another fun night of Tera. Still in the desert, hopefully moving closer towards getting the hell out of here today. So last time I left off was just doing a couple group quests alone with just a priest, which took quite a while. I did have another DPS for the first one, so that was a little bit faster, but the second one took quite a while. If you haven't seen the video, it's up on YouTube. Probably worth a watch. Does take a long time, like I've said a few times now. It's just me and a priest, so very low DPS and lots of running in circles, trying not to let the things sit on us, which didn't go so well a few times. Just goes to show something that I mentioned a couple times on the last video also, which is that you do not need a full group to take on the group quests. It recommends 5. You do not need 5. If you get a good healer, all you really need is even just one DPS who can avoid getting stomped on, and that should be enough to actually do it. Although it will take a while. Obviously, if you have a full group with a tank and healer, 3 DPS, then it'll go pretty quick, as most rebams really aren't all that difficult when you do have a full group. But you don't need that, so if you can't find it, if it's just you and a healer and another DPS or anything like that, you don't have to sit around for an hour trying to find that full group. That's kind of the point that I'm trying to make here, is you can do it on your own, you just have to be willing to take the time.
Hey, got a second? I'm sure I can help. You've come to the right place.
If you don't like it, leave. You've got a lot of nerve. Reminds me of me.
One thing that doing the group quest like that did show too is just how important it is in this game to get good at dodging and kiting. No, I've had a lot of trouble with it, especially in the last few videos with the regular mobs. It seems like it's actually easier to do it with BAMs and dungeon bosses, and that's probably not an accident. But it's definitely something that if you're not good at it, you need to work at it. In day-to-day leveling, it isn't that hard. Most mobs you can get away with not being too good at it, or even being pretty bad at it like I was when I first started. But as you level, it does get to be more and more important, especially depending on the type of mobs that they have you go after. I still have a lot of trouble. I shouldn't say I have a lot of trouble, but I tend to have trouble with the ones that are one big guy and a bunch of little minions running around. That's mostly just because of the archer not really having that good of an AoE, at least not anything like some of the other classes have. But even they aren't too bad usually. If you follow the storyline and you do quests in the proper order, or about the proper order, you should be a couple levels ahead of most of the mobs that you're fighting, and if you are, then you really shouldn't have that much trouble. And if you do have trouble, then really just practice. I mean, that's really the only advice that I could give you. If you're on a PvP server, you could always roll a new character on a PvE server, so you don't have to worry about getting ganked, and you can just kind of take your time and do your own thing, go at your own pace. One thing I will say is that in the beginning, you don't have to be as good at it as later in the game. It wasn't really up until about, I'd say, 10 levels ago or so that it became noticeably more difficult for me when I wasn't doing a good job with it. Before then, the entire time on Island of Dawn and the first zone after you get off of there didn't even really need to try that much. So if you are having trouble, like I said, just take your time, plenty of practice. It isn't that hard to get good enough to get by while leveling. If you are having trouble even then, easiest way would be to, if you don't have any friends who are playing, group up. You can make some friends. Just group up with people for the group quest and for dungeons. If you meet people who are cool, add them to your friends list. Also, just look for a good guild that you can join. Honestly, if you join a guild and it ends up not being good, people aren't that helpful and not too active, don't think twice about leaving and finding a different guild. There are some that, you know, if you want to join, they'll try to make you apply. You have to fill out something on a web page and register and all that crap. If that's not what you're looking for, then just don't bother. I mean, there's no point spending hours going through this whole ordeal just to get into a guild and find out they're crap. Still have no idea where I'm supposed to use those things, and the quest doesn't say, it just says use them. That's probably at these things. I always like when MMOs basically make resources so abundant you pretty much just trip over them everywhere you go. Makes it nice and easy to find them, and they are usually just free money. Throw them up on the auction house. Even if you don't get that much for them, they're free to get, so it's always worth it. Also good to always throw some in the guild bank, since you never know who in your guild is crafting. Always good to contribute like that if you do join a guild. Okay, so it's not these things. So I have to go somewhere specific to use them, but it doesn't say where. No place around here that really stands out as someplace obvious where you would use them. There's supposed to be some sort of rod that helps you find water. Definitely sounds useful in a desert. Some instructions would also be useful. Ah. So I have to look for towers like that. I need to find 2 more of them.
You need my help? You need my help?
Ah, that's annoying. Just click that and it shows up on the minimap. Which I could have sworn I tried yesterday and it wasn't doing that. Oh well. Probably just me going one step closer to insane finally. feel like this guy could have probably just done that himself. Oh well, those laziness is my game. So, yesterday while doing the BAM quest, or the group quest at the end, did die a few times. Looks like most of my crystals were broken in the process. So next time in town I'll have to guess one of them. I have room for 2 attack crystals and 3 defense. So I lost 5 out of 7. That kind of sucks. Luckily they're cheap, so it's not that big of a deal. I think at this level they're only 1 or 2 gold each, and right now I have 172 gold, so not that big of a deal. So I need to find where some star essence drops are also. But I'll probably just find them along the way, so I'm not going to go out of my way to look for them. Okay, so that's my next stop. It looks like there's really only 2 spots left it can send me. Over here and down here. And then hopefully that's it and I can get out of this desert and move on. So I think the next zone is actually snow, which would be kind of cool, because I think that's the only one we haven't seen yet. Been in the jungle, forests, desert. Now it's time for snow. You can see that big guy over there is the BAMs that we were killing yesterday. Of all the different ones, they seem to be the easier ones that are to solo. They move pretty slowly. They have mostly close range attacks, except for 1 or 2 that are long range and are pretty easy to dodge since you can see them coming usually. If you're going to try soloing any, I'd say they're the ones to try first, because they're the easiest of all of them so far. Nagas are probably the hardest. They have a lot of different attacks. They cause a crap ton of damage. They like to jump around and move around a lot in a relatively unpredictable way, which makes it kind of hard to kite around if you're on your own. If you're in a small group, you'll probably be fine with them. But they're definitely going to be the harder of the different kinds of BAMs to try to do on your own. Doesn't mean it's not worth trying at least once, though. So you can see what I mean about being really, really good at kiting. Not hugely important when you're doing these guys. You're just average run-of-the-mill mobs, which makes them really good practice before you go into dungeons or if you go into PvP. I haven't done any PvP yet, so I can't really say exactly how important being good at dodging and everything is in there. I'm going to guess very important, though, because I know it's important even in other MMOs that don't put such a heavy focus on it as this one does, just in the PvE. So I'm going to guess that the PvP, it's pretty damn important as well. But like I said, I haven't done any yet, so I can't say for sure. When they're nice enough to just line up like that for me. Makes my life so much easier. And when they just stand there and don't actually do anything for 30 seconds. It's like they know I'm not good at kiting, so they're just going to stand there and let me kill them so I don't have to worry about it. So very thoughtful. I feel like this is the kind of area where they're probably going to send me right back in here after I'm done to kill a boss or a chieftain or something like that. Just has that look to it. I don't know if it's my keyboard or what, but I've definitely had some trouble lately where I'll hit the hotkey and just nothing will happen. I'll have to smash it 3 or 4 times before I actually use the skill. It's really annoying when it does happen. It happened during the group fights yesterday a bunch of times and is somewhat responsible for the one time when we wiped. Also, trying to dodge right as this guy's using one of his big ranged attacks, and instead of dodging, my character decided to just stand there and take it to the face 3 times in a row.
I'm sure I can help. You've come to the right place. It's not my fault.
You've got a lot of nerve. Reminds me of me.
So if there's one big complaint I have about this game so far, besides the lack of battlegrounds, is the shameless reuse of character models for the mobs. It's actually pretty common to see the same exact model standing in two places with two different names over its head. I feel like there wasn't a whole lot of trying at times, which kind of stinks. Does make the game seem very repetitive when you are literally killing the same things over and over again in every single zone that you go to. Hopefully they fix that. I know I've seen in some other games when updates have come out and they don't announce it, but you'll find slight modifications or slight variations and that kind of thing. Usually not announced, since most companies don't like coming out saying, hey, yeah, we were lazy about this and now we're not as much anymore after you've given us all your money. But hopefully they do something similar. It's not that big of a deal breaker, but like I said, it does make it feel more repetitive than it should, or more than I would like it to. And as probably everyone knows, Diablo 2, or Diablo 3 rather, is released at midnight tonight. I have it pre-ordered on Amazon, so hopefully it should be waiting for me on my doorstep when I get home from work tomorrow. Assuming I go in. So I'll probably be splitting my time between that and Tera for at least a while. I do plan on making videos of that for every class. Whether or not I actually do is another story. It really depends on how good the game is. Diablo 1 and 2 were amazing games, and what really made them, I felt, besides just the gameplay and the story, was the random levels, or the randomized levels. If every level was randomly generated. So if you played it over and over and over again, the floor plan for the level, for the dungeons and everything, was always different. And it just made it really fun to play, because you could go through, try all the different classes and everything like that, and it didn't feel boring. It was always different. And that included, at least, I don't remember if they did it in Diablo 2, I know they definitely did in Diablo 1, where that also included some of the bosses, and as a result, some of the quests that you got as well. So if you played it through, it wasn't just that the floor plan for the level was randomized, sometimes even the quests that you got were randomized, which was really cool.
New around here?
And from the videos I've seen of Diablo 3, it doesn't look like they did that at all. At least in the videos I saw of the beta, which I didn't get into, so this could mean I could be completely wrong, and it could also have just been because it was the beta. But it looked like they just didn't do that. That every time you played through the beta, it was exactly the same. So that's the only thing that I'm kind of not looking forward to too much, if they actually did do that. Like I said, I don't know if they did or not. It could have just been for the beta. Maybe that part wasn't ready yet. I really hope that's the case, because that would take away a lot of the replay value. And hopefully this weekend I'll get back to doing some Bastion also. I know that game's been out for a while. It's not new like Tera, but it's a great game that I feel like does not get the appreciation it deserves. It has by far the best storytelling of any game I played. It's also an indie game, and it's always good to support the indies. They're the ones that keep the big guys trying. If you want to see what it looks like when the big guys don't try, just look at EA in Modern Warfare and Call of Duty 47 that are coming out this year. So for those that didn't just see the message, it looks like our guild level dropped to 1. It was 2. Not too many people doing guild quests yet in our guild. Looks like most of the guild quests, or actually all of them that I've looked at, are group quests, which is probably why. We are not that big. We look 52 members total, so we're not small, but we're not that big either. If you look right now, only 5 people on, and our levels are pretty spread out, so that's why we haven't done too many guild quests yet, just because it's hard to get a whole group of people together that are in the same level range to do them right now. People have started to reach mid to high 50s and even a couple 60s, so hopefully that'll change. I'm not sure exactly what the guild level is used for. Guessing it probably has something to do with the politics system, but other than that, I really couldn't tell you. I know I've seen similar systems in other games, but I've never really gotten too into it. Haven't been a guild leader for a while. I was in a previous game that I played a long time ago called Shadowbane, but if you don't run a guild, you can't really appreciate how difficult or how time-consuming it actually can be to run a large guild, especially if it's active and you want to run instances and you want to do a lot of PvP and you want to organize it and things like that. Having a good inner council definitely goes a really long way to helping out, but it still takes quite a bit of time to do it all, and you have to be pretty active in the game for it. and just don't really have the time for that. So for now, perfectly happy just being a guild member instead of a guild leader. So doing another group quest here. Looks like there's only one boss that we have to kill. Rewards don't look that good. That's actually really good compared to the ones that I have. But only 43 silver, 43,900 XP, when it's going to take me about 2 million to level up, so rewards could definitely be a little bit better for this one, but we'll see how hard it is first. So just letting our stats gather a little bit here, and then we should be going. Don't have a tank. We'll see if we need one. This looks like it's a stronger version of some of the BAMs we were doing yesterday when it was me, a priest, and I believe a warrior was with us, or a berserker. I think warrior. And just like the others later in the day when it was just me and the priest, it took a while, but it was doable. I didn't actually have any casualties when we were doing these with the three of us. So hopefully this isn't too much stronger, but if it has the same attacks, then it should be fairly simple, albeit it might drag out a little bit, but we'll see. So it looks like two of the crystals that I lost when I was dying yesterday are the ones that regen MP and HP, which kind of sucks, because the one that was regenerating mana, it didn't regenerate a whole lot, but it was enough that in fights like this, I pretty much always had enough to constantly be using a spell, even if it wasn't my strongest ones. So if you notice here in just a little while I'm going to reach a point where pretty much take all I have left are my really weak spells, or skills, which kind of sucks. So, just goes to show how important it is to make sure, number one, don't die, obviously, and just having those crystals, like I said, they're cheap relative to the amount of money you get for quests and all of that when you buy them, or for whatever your level range is when you're buying them, and they're just really helpful, just little buffs and bonuses that you don't even realize how much help they are. look like this guy's too hard. That tail swipe is something to look out for. That can be pretty deadly. Hasn't really done it that much though so far, or at least this fight he hasn't. Don't know if that's just because I haven't been standing close enough to really notice it, or if he just actually hasn't been doing it, but either way, that's good for me, because it means I haven't been in harm's way. Looks like the guy who was tanking died, so time to break out the kiting. Come on! So there's another spot, just sitting there pressing the key and nothing happens. And as a result, came very close to dying. Luckily, the tank, or makeshift tank, has been rezzed, so we should be good now. He's low enough that even if the tank died again, we'd be fine. And there we go. So yeah, that definitely wasn't that bad. If we had a tank, that would have been a cakewalk. Which it seems like is actually kind of the trend with some of these group quests. If you can get a full group, they really aren't that hard. They just take a little bit longer than regular quests. So that's just right there another good example of what I mean about kiting not being hugely important for your average run-of-the-mill mobs. Just took on 4 of them and got hit only a couple times. Getting crits obviously helps a lot too. Being able to 2-shot one of them pretty early on definitely makes a difference. Let's see what we got left. We need Dark Relic, Runekeeper's Horn, and we still need the Star Essence. I'm not sure where the hell that stuff drops around here. That's another... that's something that you gather. I'm not sure where you're supposed to gather it around here, though, since finding plenty of ore, but none of that stuff. Come on, just barely out of range. Oh, I didn't even realize I had crystals. Sweet. $45 ore right now. Is that 45? Yeah. And that's not including what I have in my bank, what I've given to the guild bank, and what I have up for sale in the auction house that may or may not have sold. I haven't been to a trade broker in a little while. So it just goes to show you exactly how abundant some resources are. I hate these casters. The reason I hate those casters is every time I've encountered them so far, there hasn't been any way to dodge their attacks. They seek onto you, so every time they cast them and I go to run, they just follow me and hit me anyway. So I'm not sure if it's possible to dodge them. If you are, I'm not sure how you're supposed to. I'm guessing it's probably just me doing something terribly wrong, though. That's usually just a good assumption to make. Coward was running away. Now he's dead. That's what he gets. Oh, come on. This is normal. Plants is my lowest one, though. I don't know why, but for some reason that's just the one that it seems like I never get. At least not nearly as much as essence and ore. Ore seems to be by far the most abundant. Or at least, so far for me it has. Oh, what the hell? I selected them, I hit fire. And then it didn't fire. Oh, nice. I like hitting for 10k. So that's what I mean. He just sits there just shooting at me, and if I run, they just come right at me. I can't get out of the way. Luckily they don't do that much damage, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's just really annoying. looks like all I need is 2 more Runekeeper horns, and I should be good. Now just finding where the hell the star essence is around here. I'm gonna guess it's probably back near the beginning, just because I've been everywhere else and I haven't seen a single spawn of it yet. But we'll see. Don't feel like running all the way back there right now, though, unless I have to. And there we go. Time to turn in. When it does this. Not in combat. They're dead.
You need my help? You need my help?
Glad you could make it. You need help, kid?
They are garbage. Can't use. This one I can. That one goes away. And now it's back up here, where they're probably going to send me either over here or down here next. Seeing as these two camps down here and this one are the only places I haven't been yet. Hoping there's not too much left, though. This desert's getting kind of boring. Or not boring, but just want to see some new scenery. Well, that's different. That was there before. That's just the portal. It's just from a different angle. It's kind of cool.
Hey, got a second?
So I have to go back to town. Is there a teleporter here? Come on. They better add more teleport people. Especially since as soon as I get back from town, they're probably going to tell me to come right back here. I'm running out of scrolls too. So while this teleports, I'm just going to run to grab a drink real quick, so I'll be right back. While I'm here, I might as well hit up all the people. Where's the tactics instruction? I don't think I leveled up. I shouldn't have anything new to learn.
An honor to see you. Hang in there.
Nope. I'll hit up the trade broker to see what's sold, since it's telling me I have messages.
Kinda busy here. Be careful out there in the
Oh,
wilderness.
nice. That was about just shy of 8 gold. So that's some of the other stuff that I've got. So generally speaking, if I go to list and it says that the average price is like 1 or 2 silver or something cheap like that, I won't bother. It still says that that's more than what you can get from the merchant usually, but it really just isn't worth it. Like this is a good example. I might as well just sell it to the merchant. If I can actually get 20 for it. If not, I won't lose any sleep at night. So I just go just a little bit below average price. I don't try to be super anal about it. I'll hang on to that. That could become useful. Star Essence? No, I need to keep that stuff. 2 gold average price. So, we'll make ours 2 even. 3. We'll make ours 3 even. So this is what I meant by some of this stuff. If you get it, even if you don't use it, just hang on to it. And just dump it on the auction house, because if I can actually sell that, that's quite a bit of money right there in these two. Whether or not they'll sell, that's a completely different story.
Imagine success, then make it happen.
So the specialty store is where you get your crystals from. You have weapon and armor crystals. So I have room for 1 weapon. The ones that I have, let's first go to the highest level ones. So yeah, so you can 2.5 gold. I have 191 right now. I can afford 3 crystals. So I have 1.36 times critical, 6.7 more damage on knockdown, and maximum MP by 176. Let's see if we can get the immediately regenerates. There's one. That's the one I want. And over here we have decreased damage by 6.2%. That's actually pretty nice. So let's see. Max HP increase and HP regen. There we go.
Remember this fondly.
And I was right. I came over here and it sends me right back out there. Let's see if there's a teleporter.
Don't consume knowledge, share it.
Oh nice, I can teleport out here. And that definitely makes life easier. Still feel like they could use some more teleport people out in the camps though, and merchants. One thing that I really liked about the Old Republic, right before it got terribly boring, was how you could send your companion to sell all the gray items in your inventory while you were out and about, and it only took, I believe, 2 minutes real world time for them to go and come back. So it wasn't like you were out without them forever if you decided to do it, and it was just hugely helpful being able to unload your inventory like that while you were still out in the middle of, you know, a camp or out in the world exploring. Made life a hell of a lot easier. Rift was also really good about that, in that most camps had just a generic merchant that you could unload on, and a lot of places around the world there would even just be random merchants just spread out in, you know, the forest that you could just stumble upon and sell all your crap if you were out leveling or grinding, which was really nice too. So I accidentally put all of my ore up on the auction house when I needed 10 of it for this quest, but there's so damn much out here it doesn't really matter. At this rate, I'll probably be right back to 10 before I even get to the camp I'm going to. So I'm already at 4. I have this one here, that one there, that one there. By the time I get to that one, there'll probably be another one right over the horizon. So one thing I definitely want to play around with, but I haven't yet, is the interface. Just moving stuff around to find a good position for everything. I know there's definitely got to be a better position than the default, which is what I'm using now. I just haven't really found it yet. The default is, it's not the best, but it's actually pretty good where everything is laid out. I'd say the only real complaint I have with it is putting these down here. I've moved them over here before. Do I need to... move them right down here? I moved them once before though, and when I left the game and then came back to play the next day, they had reset over there. So I'm guessing I need to do something special to lock them where I want them, but I'm not sure what. So I just have to, if they reset again tomorrow, then I'll just have to play around and see. If they do, it's not that big of a problem. Oops. So here's the essence that I need. Looks like there's another one right over there. And over there. So can finally get that and close out this quest. Plus, it's more stuff I can throw in the auction house if I find an abundance of it. I get the feeling there's going to be another group quest in here, since these guys are pretty big to be soloed. Yeah, they're BAMs. You can see the little icon next to the name there. Right up there. That indicates that it's a BAM, and that he will gladly step on your face.
See you at the Victory March. For the Federation.
So it looks like there's a lot of
Respect my
quests here.
altitude. I'm here to help.
Speak plainly, friend. For the Federation.
May memory endure. Such refinement. Visitors teach us much. Victory for Valkion.
We'll start looking for this now.
Leaving so soon.
So that's these big guys that are wandering around here. Not even gonna try to solo one of them. for being big and scary looking, these dudes seem pretty easy. Which seems to be the case with a lot of the regular mobs, which it'd be kind of interesting if they took a while, but at the same time, if every mob takes you 5 minutes to kill, you're going to lose interest in the game very fast. Kill him, so not interested. One of the things I'm liking about Tera so far is that there hasn't been a grind so far. Like, I haven't really gone out of my way just for the sake of leveling or anything like that. Just do the quests in the order that they're given to you, follow the story, and you level pretty quickly. You don't really have to go out of your way or anything like that, usually. Or at least at all so far. I've only done 2 dungeons. I know there's one in this zone. I haven't done it yet because even though I can go wait in the queue for it, I'm guessing that at some point in the zone I'm going to get quests for it, which I haven't yet. And I don't want to, you know, sit in the queue for an hour, then run all the way through, and then get out and 5 minutes later get all the quests and have to go do it again, if I don't have to. One short. And saw that message that popped up a couple minutes ago saying that something sold on the auction house. Don't remember if that was one of those couple really expensive things. Hopefully it was. If not, then oh well, sold something. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this one off of here since it's about to be finished. And then I can add that one, add this one. Come on. Come on. Walls will be the death of me. And right after I was talking about how easy your run-of-the-mill mobs are. I mean, sure, they're named, but usually the ones that are named really aren't that much more difficult than any of the others. So now they want me to go up here. Sweet, more essence. So the essence is really the only one I actually genuinely care about getting, just because that's one that I need in order to make bows and stuff. I'm not getting into the crafting yet, though. When I do, I'll probably do a video or two on it. I'm not sure really how much there'll be to go over. Crafting tends to be pretty simple. Enchanting, on the other hand, that I haven't gotten into, and when I do, there'll almost certainly be a video, since it does actually seem that's somewhat complicated. I don't know if the difficulty of it that I've heard about is just because it's complicated, or because it's really random, or just because, you know, it's difficult to get it right, or it's difficult to figure out, or what it is. But I definitely know for a fact that most people haven't even really tried yet. Come on. Another case of pressing the button and nothing happens. I don't think it's my keyboard, because I don't have problems with that happening any other time. Go away. This happened again. So, all of these quests are supposed to be soloable, because if they're story quests. We'll see how true that is. So he's got a lot of health, but it's definitely not as much as a Bam. Out of range. Ah, that one wasn't. So these heavy guys, at least for an archer, as long as you keep up the poison arrow, worst case scenario, you just end up running around in a bunch of circles, and then the damage over time do most of the work. It's kind of boring, so you do want to, you know, take the time to get other attacks out wherever you can, but you don't have to be super anal about, you know, running 2 steps, making sure you get a shot off, running 2 more, getting a shot off, anything like that. You just take your time. And he doesn't even drop anything for me. How nice of him. Those guys. If I don't need them, I'm not wasting my time on them. So those are the BAMs that I need to kill for that one quest. Hopefully we can get a group together. Don't feel like don't really want to have to abandon another one of these like I did yesterday when I first got on, but also don't want to have to just sit here for an hour after I've finished all the other quests. Those guys. So I'll grab this, then I'll just head back to camp. Turn in the couple, or the one that I can turn in there. And then it looks like there's an escort quest. At least by the description, that's what it sounds like. I hope it's not. I hate escort quests. Problem I have with escort quest is just that it seems like the person or thing you're escorting is always incredibly slow. And I understand they do it because it gives you time to kill the mobs when they appear, but it's still annoying when, at least the escort quests so far, with the exception of one that is actually kind of difficult, you usually spend 1/4 of the time fighting mobs and the rest of the time just waiting for the slow thing you're escorting to move, get off its ass and move.
Speak plainly, friend.
Let's make memories together.
Respect my altitude.
So it doesn't look like it's an escort quest, just a run from A to B really fast quest. Which will probably not be all that difficult. There's my destination, and I'm there in less than half the time. Unless a whole bunch of just random mobs spawn at the last minute. Which I wouldn't put it past them, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Now they expect me to run over here. Okay, so time is actually starting to run out for this one. Down to 20 seconds. And we might actually run out of time. If we do and have to go all the way back, I might just abandon this one and say screw it. Got here literally at the last second.
You need my help?
If it was that close, I definitely would have gone back and said, screw it, I'm not doing this. Because that's
We're
kind
all
of annoying.
brothers here.
And now I have to go back. So while the game is fun overall, some of these quests are kind of BS. To put it nicely. The ones where you just have to talk to 5 different people in town because they're incapable of talking to each other, those are annoying, but they usually aren't that bad because the towns just aren't very big. So it's basically just free XP to run around the town for a minute, but something like this is just annoying. If they had a way for me to teleport from the destination back to the turn-in, that wouldn't be too bad. But instead, they make me run all the way back. To turn in the story quest, I have to go all the way back here, so I'll do at least do these 3 first. This one, we'll say, the group quest. And this here claims that I have not yet unlocked so I have to turn in this one before I get the next one. Okay. So it seems like there's about halfway done, a little bit more than halfway done with the story quest in here so far. Next one. This looks like a pretty big chunk of the story. Kind of looking forward to
Respect my
that.
altitude.
There we go. So I have to just go collect clamshells now? Kill 10 of these dudes, or 12 of these dudes. These are basically just smaller versions of the BAMs walking around that I have to kill for the group quest. Well, not basically, that's exactly what they are. sounded like he just looked goofy while he was dying. Kind of fits with the specialty vendor in the Purport Kingdom, who I swear it sounds like he says, "You have my altitude." He says attitude, but it sounds like altitude. So here's the seashells that I need, or one of them. They did a good job on the water in this game, like they did with most of the other graphics as well. I've seen a few fun glitches surrounding the water. Haven't encountered them myself, I've seen them on other people's streams though. But when you're doing an MMO, some glitches will happen, there's no getting around that. Actually, pretty much any game involving online play is going to have glitches that are frequently caused by connectivity issues between the player and the host. That's why, like, if you look at third-person shooters, I know Halo has become a little bit famous for it with some fun physics glitches where I have vehicles that just randomly launch clear across the map. That is usually the result of lag-like issues, where the physics engine just freaks out because of connectivity issues or loading issues and things like that. And it's one of those things where, as a developer, you encounter stuff like that no matter what kind of development you're doing, and it's just the kind of thing where you have to say, is it worth it to spend the next, week or more of someone's time trying to work out this little thing that happens every now and then? Usually the answer is no. I'm okay with a vehicle randomly launching itself across the map in online play if everything else works great.
Such refinement.
For the Federation.
And it's back to town again. Ooh, I got a ring. And it is identical to one of them that I have equipped. So I'm going to sell that and that. I'll keep these for later. let's see which of my things sold. This is the fun part.
Greetings.
Oh, that's sweet. That's awesome. Also have some more of these. Oh, wow.
Such urgency.
Should have checked to see if that bow was better than the one I got. The one I'm using is still the one I
You need
bought
my
on the
help?
auction house a few days ago. Pretty damn good bow. Got it nice and cheap too, or relative to how good it is, at least I think it was cheap. Only 17 gold, when at the time I had about 130, so didn't exactly have to break the bank
Getting
for it.
bored, eh?
And this is what I mean by the ones where you just run back and forth, acting like the United Postal Service.
You need my help?
Alrighty, so let me find the merchant because
The core powers
I want to see if I
all.
can get more safe haven scrolls. Huh. I did not realize that they had these teleport scrolls to go back to the individual towns. That would have been useful to know. Kind of expensive, though. Well, says the guy with 200 gold, complaining about having to spend 3. That's a banker. We don't care about him. Actually, yes, we do.
Ready to help. Safe travels.
So at one point I'm gonna end up going through here and probably just selling all of this crap. This is various ores and runes that I've collected before I started just selling them all. And after. So whether or not we keep it or use it. So here's the bow. Yeah, it's nowhere near as good. Is that soulbound? Any archer is going to do that quest, they're going to get it, so there's no point trying to sell it. On the auction house, that is. I'll just sell it to the archer,
No honor
or to the merchant.
like soldiers on.
There we go. We have plenty of campfires. I don't need anything here. Scrolls. So, I don't know if they got rid of these just generic safe haven scrolls, or if these are just ones that you have to loot in order to get, but all the ones in town are specifically these kind, where you can use them to teleport to a single place. I'll pick up a few of these, just so I have them. And now it's off to the Crusader camp, which I don't think I can teleport to yet, because I haven't been there yet.
Slow down before you collapse.
Yep, can't go there yet, so I'll just run. It's not too far. Okay, so it is a bit of a hike, but oh well. Jump over the little people, or little things with axes. I don't know what they actually are. They're kobolds. Kobold Lobber. So I have no interest whatsoever in running all the way back just to look for a group, just to do this. Decent XP, decent gold, but I just don't really care enough to try to find a group to run all the way back over there just to kill 3 BAMs and then come all the way back. So Dark Cathedral, the place on the bottom here that I'm ultimately going to, as far as I know, I believe that's an instance. I could be wrong, probably wrong. But if I get there tonight, probably not going to go through it tonight just because they can take a while. Aside from spending all the time just to find a group, actually running through them takes a while, and I just don't have time to do that tonight.
Victory for Valkion. You feel okay? Slow down a moment and talk.
This one I noticed, yeah, this has a really high reward for just being a regular old no-thrills quest. But hey, I'm not complaining. More money, more XP, and I'm getting pretty close to level 40. 83.67% of the way there. I need about another 600,000 XP. I'm gonna get 100,000 just for that one quest, so that's pretty nice. And I just got the last of the only 3 plants that I needed to pick up for it. So pulling 4 of these guys, probably not the smartest thing, but they don't really cause enough damage to really be that big of a problem. I mean, unless you really screw up, you just kind of sit there and then gnaw on you for a while. Turn these in. Then it looks like I have to head
Slow down a
south.
moment and talk. Stay healthy, stay safe.
Sweet. Those 2 pretty nice rewards there back to back for relatively simple, not relatively simple, very simple quests. It looks like I'm going the wrong way here. Have to go up here. And then it's that direction. To kill some skeletal pikemen. And there they are. They got some pretty cool hats, though. And they're easy to kill. Ouch. Guess that's payback for me calling them easy to kill. And that's payback for them hitting me. Only 5 more frenzied cores to go. Which does not necessarily mean I have to kill only 5 more of them. That was annoying. Didn't get any that time. Good thing about quests like this, the mobs usually spawn pretty damn fast. So you don't have to wait around for a while. Sweet, one more. And how very convenient, there's 2 standing right here. Sweet. And it looks like I have to head down here to turn this one in. So all 3 of them that I have, I turn in down here at the Dark Cathedral. I feel like I'm probably going to get a quest that involves me killing these guys. That's just a hunch.
Fortunately for you, we're in this together. Of course I can help.
A new alliance? How can I help? Stay free, my friend.
Duty called me here. A memorable meeting.
So
Let us reason together.
once I finish all of these, I should hit 40.
I'm laughing, but with you. Or at you.
That was easy. Let's see, where's the Death Knight, or Dread Knight? Which I didn't really need. Courtesy of the awesome crystals that I got. Sweet money. So, once again, big and scary, easy to kill. It's annoying when it looks like they'll take one shot and they do just a low enough amount of damage that they actually need 2 more. Or 1 more after that one. Damn it. Here we go. Coward trying to run away from me again. Where's these Dread Knights that I need to kill? Right there. Ah! Knew I was gonna have a quest about these guys. They love their minions in this game. Or hate them, depending on how you look at them, since you have to kill so many. This one's done, this one's done. This one I just have to turn in. And what about this one? Might as well do this one while I'm out here. Need to kill 10 of whatever the hell these things are. The Reavers. To go along the top path. That ain't it. Those are the dudes I was killing before. Here we go. I have to kill 10 of these dudes. Off to a good start. They could put a few more of them up here for me. They're quick and easy to kill, at least. And I'm now more than halfway there already, so shouldn't complain too much. Okay, so it turns out even though they die quickly, they can hit pretty hard. Assuming they live long enough to. Like that one just did. Okay, so now there are these things. I'm just gonna run right through there. So before I do that, I am going to turn these guys in. Because these should get me my level. Yep.
A new alliance.
Strength in unity. Victory is inevitable.
You don't get my humor, do you? I'm laughing, but with you. Or at you.
Let's make memories together.
I have two of these rend off at the Dark Cathedral. Let me do this one first. I have to activate this one. I feel like it's probably gonna spawn something here. Oh, come on. I didn't cancel that. Okay, any day now. What the hell? Is this thing bugged or something? I probably have to go over and do that other one first. Yep. And now we can do this one. At least I don't see any others already. Oh, there's that one. We'll try this one first, since we're already here. Yep. And this is the last one. I feel like something's probably going to spawn and attack me. Or maybe not. That works too.
Speak plainly, friend.
Well, that was easy. So I have to go into the Dark Cathedral now. So where's the entrance? Is this the entrance? Looks like it. Just ignore all of these guys. It looks like there's at least 2 levels here. Hopefully this isn't like the labyrinth where we end up with a ton of quests.
This isn't my first rodeo, you know.
Of course, I could be
Another
wrong.
day, another youngster. Will you consult with me?
I'm worth the wait. It's only a wasted time if you're alone.
Oh, greetings! Long war, but we'll win.
Quit! I don't know the meaning of the word. This isn't my first rodeo.
Nice. 2 gold for that
Another day, another youngster.
1 gold for that one. 180 for that
Quit!
one.
I don't
And
know the meaning of the
one.
word. This isn't my first rodeo, you know. Never say die.
Don't push yourself so hard. Don't skippity deals.
Oops. Hit my mic there.
Duty called me here.
Oh, greetings.